And I spotted it very, very early. I mean, I saw the behavior. Um, but again, if you should correct the behavior, you've got, a lot of times with behavior, you're just making an observation. You're not trying to correct it back to what? It's a behavior that exists. So, anyway, I've got my dog for IQ, and I'm probably going to start using the stronger pager. But what I've got here is the very weak pager, and I'm using it to get her. If we said all dog training is three basic behaviors: come, go, and remain stationary. At this point, I'm using it to get her to come to me and get her to go to the platform. So, the remain stationary is kind of creating itself by virtue of they will start staying on the platform. Oh, she gets right up. So I like to get the collar on up here. And I already know I've got it on. And I've got the 1-2 buckle your shoe. That's how much time you've got to get this thing on. If you're not that good, get a little bit longer strap. 1-2 buckle my shoe. I was a little over the time frame. You see, that's how much time they'll give you. She started to kind of throw her head. Okay, so now what I'm saying is I want to be able to use that collar to augment anything I'm doing. Uh-oh. So I want it to augment my movement, augment my voice. I hope that's a good shot. I can't really see. Whoops. Okay, I'm using a little bit. Let me get this other thing in there. Shot. So if I want her to go to the platform, I don't really like the way I've got it configured, but I can do the round the platform thing. That'll be good. Then I'm going to coordinate that with my movement. He said she felt the pager, and when she turned, what she saw was, oh, no, yeah, exactly. That's exactly. So you're kind of already creating your heel. I understand that now. If you're there, that fish hook on the recall is you're just creating your heel. If you said, well, you can kind of create behaviors, oh yeah. That's what you done. If the recall, if the healing is just an extension of move in my direction, you've already installed the turn by adding that little. They've already got that move. So if I want her to go to the platform, I'm gonna just coordinate the. Yay! He said, well, slightly delayed response. Millie. Oh, she's a Johnny on the spot. So you're just going to get much more of a Johnny on the spot effect. And when she looked around just then, I don't know if she was in the shot. She might not have been in the shot. But I did. You're ready to add anything you need to add. I'm adding my voice. I'm adding movement. I'm adding. It's really more of, if you said, what's the movement? The movement's an idea. Let's go this way, Any kind of movement's going to be you coming up with an idea and us understanding that's all they are. It's just open for suggestion. If you said based on what I go get 4 or 5 of them out, one of them takes off, they'll all follow that one. If you said it's the alpha, no, it's the one that took off first. So it's the literal leader. It's not figurative in dogs. There's no alpha. It's whoever ran first. That's the leader. The literal leader is the leader. If you said, well, we'll never be able to take off that. Exactly. That's why we have to compensate. All right, hang on. Let me get myself. So we want to get her picking something up and putting it in our hand. So we want to create a little microcosm. This is the microcosm. But if you said all my training's a microcosm, I'd say, oh, that's not going to be good. You said, well, as soon as you're out of the microcosm, that's weak. So You've got a very specific posture. I think you should have your feet together. And, making yourself, especially guys and stuff, if you said, what does it say? It's a very non-threatening posture. And if you said, well, I like to sit down and look real threatening, you're not going to be any good at training dogs. If that's what you want. If that's what you are. That one video that girl posted, I mean, this great big guy got over scared this German Shepherd under the chair, on and on with this speech, and just continuing to run this dog under a chair. Okay, we got the point, buddy. Quit, it was abuse. And this guy's some trainer. Some great big, like 6'6", belly out to here, huge, looming. By the time he's done, this German Shepherd's hiding under the chair, while the owner's sitting spraddle-legged in the chair like this. By now, the dog's diving under the chair. So basically, this guy's proceeding to ruin the dog with his evaluation. Anyway. Alright, so we've got our little objects. Okay, so what I did was I coached her into just a tiny bite. So she took a tiny bite of it. She liked these yesterday. And I need to be able to guard this to say, she did a little bite at it. And if you said, she picks everything else up. She can pick this up. She picks everything else up. I'm sure you noticed that at your house. She's absolutely precious. So, again, my whole, I'm that's Tyler. Millie! If you said, why did that work so well? Yay! Yay! We got it now. She's a clever one. So the only way I got that though was by saying bigger is better, and I got lucky. And if you said how, barking at that other dog and me doing that pager, move the dog around, it sort of activated the dog more, and so then in lieu of not really being sure what to do, she grabbed it, and so I got lucky. Like you said, yay, right then. And it was kind of far away, so. So I have to let her know one hand's trying to get it, I know she's ruining our Christmas antlers, but I'll get more. If you said, what do you love more than Christmas? Oh, little fake Christmas lights. I get anything like that. Oh, wait. Oh, Charles, wait till you see my little Lucero-based nativity scene. If you said, well, the little Lucero thing's the manger. So what I have to be able to show her, and I'm ready, she starts running towards this dog. Millie! Is one hand, the two hands are working together. The one hand is getting the thing, and the other hand, there's a method to the madness. Yeah, that's what you're saying at this point. Oh, she's doing unbelievably well. So, you know, then you're back to, and it is going to be important because, okay, she's kind of running him off is what she's doing. Keeping him on the edges. She's keeping him on the fringes. All right, so I can try it with a different object. And that's why you should. I mean, you should have a bucket full of stuff because, like you said, well, you know, why would they get this thing? Why would they get this? If I left it on the ground, it'd be all torn up. That's how I know. They are that, if something's that close to your face, if I had been able to get your teeth and put something in someone's hand, you're so aware of what's going on right by your face. You know, she's understanding, and the only way it's understanding that, guys, is my hands being very surgical right by her face. And my seeming interest in the objects. I hope you saw that, Grant. She's prodigy. I hope you saw that, Linda. Oh, yeah. She's getting extra Christmas gifts now. She's that smart. She's putting it right in my hand. That's always my character's line. My character has a few different lines. I'll think of the analogies for your line of work. The line is, they put it right in my hand, and the guy can't even do a trained retreat. Yeah, they're very related. This dog put it right in my hand. That guy can't even do a trained retreat. So she is looking at my eyes, and, you know, my acting interested in this thing is what's doing it. My telling her to pick it up isn't going to make her want to pick it up. My seeming interest in this hobby of mine She's thinking of getting that one. She's browsing around in there. So I'm ready. One hand has to. One hand is getting the object, the other hand is giving the treat. They've got to understand that or it doesn't work. I'm not telling her to get it though. So your job is to get it to go the right way. You know, this dog, she's probably going to pick that up organically. I've got to keep an eye on it. But this dog, this is bigger. I mean, a lot of dogs, you would, yeah, you know, you guys see me use those teeny tiny things. You know, with this dog, it's a little bit bigger, and that ended up working out better. So my job is to let her see this hand is the pickup hand. You know, and if you said, well, they couldn't get a machine. Yeah, they could. They already have a machine that does that. Where the dog puts the tennis ball in and the machine throws it. It's true. You know, I don't know if they have one that the treat comes out. I think they do. That one where they, like, put their paws on it or something. That one Alice had that someone gave her, that the thing lit. I couldn't figure out what it was, really, but somehow it was giving the dog the treat for doing something. I'm not sure what. That was the problem with it. I wasn't sure what they were trying to get him to do. Whatever it was wasn't good, though, because it was totally factoring out the handler. So if you were going to do it with remote, if you were going to do tech training that didn't involve a handler, what would you do? I would gear it so that you could quickly factor the handler into the equation. That's how I would do it. And that's like Jarrett's idea of recording the voice or whatever. You record the yay or whatever. As soon as the machine was going to do something, then it would say yay. So you and maybe do the pager. And so then if you said, well, you could then factor the handler in by using their recorded voice and the page, and them use the page. Yes. You said, what are these people's names? Their names are the Jetsons. This is 3,000 years from now. All right, hang on. So I'm guarding this. That's very obvious. So I did switch up the hands, though. Oh, it's the funnest training ever. It's the funnest training ever. I'm not looking at her at all. When she looks back, I'm staring at this thing. She's looking at my, she's looking at my hands. And you've got to have a few little misses like that. She sees the hand, but oh, it went away. As soon as I dropped it, it went away. You know, that's what their internal dialogue needs to be. Oh, as soon as I dropped it, the hand was gone. My move. The next move is mine. Oh, I'm adorable. Anyway, so that took 1 week to shape because last Saturday, unless that was 2 weeks ago. I don't think it was. I think it was only a week ago. So I'm gonna. That was. But you know, if you said you must still be struggling with any of these other objects, then I would say then thank God. You know, because to use, and that's why I had used this thing earlier. They do furry. If you said you mean like a little animal, yeah, 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 that's exactly what I mean. All right, hang on. Let me grab some more treats. Oh, she's my star. She's my star. She's gonna need months of this though, Grant. It's like what? Months of training. Months and months. All right. Yeah, that's how you've got to think of it, though. If you're starting out doing corrections, it's you're. If you said, well, what about later? Yes, that's really the school of thought. You're inundating the dog with behaviors that you do want it to do, to the point it's pretty clear what's going on, and then at that point, extinguish. You could use a collar to extinguish what was left of that behavior that you didn't like. So if you said, give me an example, well, the dog is all trained, but then it just is running at you, getting ready to jump with muddy paws. You could hit the neck and say no, and it would understand that because you had done that before. It wouldn't just. It's beyond me that all these people think that electronic collars are for corrections. I mean, do they work at the jail? I mean, yes, there are electronic correction devices, but the lion's share of electronics devices that are worn by the user are a communication device. Only on Star Trek was there that one color. Anyway, okay, so she's over here, so let's just, now we can go back and do another little set. You know, you're always starting out by getting them up on the platform like that. You're way ahead of the game. So there's gotta do everything at once. Here's my hands getting ready to be very surgical. My hands are moving in a very limited area. This thing's easy to catch too. He said, well, I woke up, I said, oh, it's Saturday. Oh, I don't have to do anything. Oh, in fact, I might have to take the kid. I'm going to tell George, I'm going to take the kid. Hopefully the store's open tomorrow. I have to take the kids shopping tomorrow. George hurt his shoulder. He's coming back to town today. Anyway, you got to go to Walmart and have a big shopping spree. I said, well, oh, that's fun. I'll tell you what's fun. That. Okay, here we go. So if you said she can't, yes, she can see that. have to say to yourself, if it was me and something was in my teeth and I was putting it somewhere, I would be really conscious of everything around by my face. Think of when you're at the dentist. You're very conscious of everything. All you can see is these hands coming at your... You know, what we have to say to ourselves, she picks up everything anyway. And if we don't exploit that, it's going to be very, very annoying. That was a near miss. No, that was a miss, but you know, I started out from the dog just poking at it to actually picking it up, so that's... If you said it only lifted it 1/4 of a centimeter, yeah, that's why I call it a micro task. It's just a micro task. Oh, she's absolutely precious. You know, and I am. At the same time, I'm also guarding the other stuff, so it doesn't just be jimmy jerk around, grab everything, throw everything around, make a big mess. You know, there is very, if you said, where do people go? No specificity to anything. No treats. Yes. Or they randomly get a treat out and go, sit. Yeah, it's you know, and then they blame the dog. Not you guys. You knew. You could see right away Millie needed charm school. See what she ate? Oh, who knows? Ah, a piece of a stick. All right, watch. So I am, it's the velocity, and I do think this has a lot to do with it, Chelsea. The velocity with I'm removing my hand is what's doing it. You know, that it's that, okay, I can see we got a timing issue here. It has to have it in its hand. So the velocity going this way is what's doing it, not the momentum going that way. It's crazy. So when did you figure that? Last Tuesday. Very close to figuring that out too. So I'm making it so I should be able to easily. Give it a little 11th place right there. If you're just, honestly, people are just a very flat handler. You're not going to get anything out of them. You're not. And if you said why, because they are driven to heighten reality. I mean, if something's moving around fast, it's just their nature to... Oh, it sounds like my neighbor's going on a Harley ride. Oh, probably some Christmas poker run, if I had to guess. I'll start playing the motorcycle recording. Yay! Almost had it. So I did what I did right there. If you said, what did you do? And that's why you've got to do that. I did create a small problem. The problem was the handler was over there and the thing is over there. So the only solution to the problem was to move it closer to the handler. Anyway, that's fabulous. That was moved very, very quickly in one session. And if you said how long did that, it took a week, and I'm not even sure I did it the first day or two. Even if you are doing it the first day or two, you're still doing it under the premise, I know where I'm going with this, not let's just see if it'll do it. You're getting micro increments. If you said, I don't like to move in micro increments, you're not going to be a very good dog trainer then if you're going to expect everything to be in leaps and bounds. I can show you video after these people. Just, am I wrong, Chelsea? These trainers, I mean, first they force these dogs to sit there while they throw 500 tennis balls all around them and jerk them for moving. And then they can't understand why these things won't retrieve. So, anyway, I'm going to go get the other little puppy out, and then I'm going to try to do like a little group puppy episode. So, anyway, I think you guys should be super excited. And that was, that was just me trying something. Only because I know that if you said, what would the life expectancy of these be if I left them on the ground? What I should do is put them on the ground and let all the dogs out, and then you'd see. And you said, what happened? Never saw it again. Never seen again. Never saw it again. Okay, you guys. I will be